All right, y'all. Good Monday afternoon. Welcome to my channel, WatchYoMouthReviews. This is your boy James, where I am here to give y'all my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Y'all know that it ain't gonna happen, but we will live to fight another day. I know y'all are shocked just to see just me. Mrs. Best is coming. She'll be here very shortly here, and we will welcome her when she gets here. But I just wanted to say, hey everybody, and I posed a question in the chat here. Um, Shamia took it there. Shamia took it there. What happens now? I mean, without saying the obvious, of course. What happens now? Shout out to my girl, Dr. Jim Bunny, who is here. Thank you for being here. She said she'll be back at 3:30. I'm sure I will still be here. So take your time, girl. We good. We got you. Hi, Keywan. Thank you for being here. Y'all, shout out to my girl, Keywan J. Please subscribe to her channel. Her information is in my description box. As well, you can click her beautiful picture here and subscribe to her channel. And be sure to tell it that James sent you. Now, y'all, I must say, this where I had to watch this episode 3 to 4 times to understand exactly what I was looking for because I did not know what it was. I don't know what it is, but yes. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna go off for 1 second. Sorry, y'all. I'm on the clock too, so let me bring Mrs. Best in. Hello, friend.
Are you aware you were just there muted?
Yeah, I said, hold on, y'all. I'll be right back.
Oh, I was
I had
like,
to take
what?
a quick call. You know, I'm on the clock too,
Oh,
so yeah.
yeah, that's why I was late. My bad. I was doing intake assessments. My
No,
bad.
you're good. I just was introducing everybody. I was just coming forward and just saying, hey, I posed this question in the chat to everybody because I needed to know. Um, Shamia took it there. What happens now? I need everybody to answer this. And I was just introduction. Naya joined us. Keywan is here. So we ain't did nothing yet. We ain't got into the episode. We ain't did nothing yet. We only 4 minutes in this video. So y'all say what's up to Mrs. Best. She has made it in here. Um, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and start. Now that you've gotten here, we're gonna go ahead and start it off. So we open up with a plethora of Scottish, Olympic games that they love to play out there, and all the ladies are lined up ready to play. And when we are seeing what the games are, the ladies are all trying them. It was really funny, to see them throw that hammer, to see them, with the wood thing. I'm just like, Lord, the jokes write themselves. But what was funny, the third part was that tug of war. When I tell y'all how the teams were divided, so we had Angela, Portia, Pinky, and I'm missing somebody. I don't know who. Who was the fourth person on Drew? Drew was the first person. And then on the other side, we had Cynthia, Shamia, Kelly, and Phaedra. So when the tug of war game happens, they started pulling, it was teetering back and forth. And when that man said go, child, Portia's side ended up pulling, and all you saw was Kelly's ass being dragged around the grass with her legs up. And I fucking hollered. I said, "Wait, I was not ready for that." And Kelly takes it on on the chin. She was a good sport about it. She was laughing. It said a little shade in her confessionals, but that was funny as hell. But it was a nice little warm up to get the girls, associated. So far, the trip is going good, y'all. So far, it's going good. Now, it's going to take a shift later, but so far, it was good. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about the games?
The games were cute. It was nice to see all of the ladies have fun, but I feel like RHOA is I'm losing my voice, all sorry. I feel like RHOA is good at putting a drama to the side to just have a fun time doing odd things. So it was nice to get like a breathable moment throughout the heavy episode. And Kelly getting dragged was
That shit was so funny. I'm sorry. I laughed until I cried.
then
My
proportions protected her.
not the proportions. So as the games end, Phaedra then brings them to the house. They have Scottish traditional appetizers and things. And I'm just looking at Phaedra like, y'all doing too much now. Now we're going to, but don't be willing to go to a different country if you don't want to try their everyday meals and delicacies. So as they're sitting around the table, they're all talking and everything. And Portia asked Kelly, "How are you doing, Kelly? Like, how's it going?" And Kelly said, "Today, was a little hard, but I'm thankful for our conversation last night." And Shamia's like, "Well, what conversation happened?" So Drew explains that in her room, she had Portia, Phaedra, Kelly, and I believe there was somebody else outside of that. I don't know who else was missing, but I think there was somebody else in there with them. I think it was K Michelle. It was somebody. But nevertheless, Shamia finds out that Portia and Kelly have called it truce. And it was cracking me up because the camera kept panning on Shamia like the entire time as it was Cynthia. Okay, thank you, Keywan. It was Cynthia. I don't know how Cynthia is so forgettable, but it was Cynthia. So the camera pans on Shamia. All you see is Shamia taking a drink, listening to them going back and forth. And I was like, y'all are shady for this. Now, in hindsight, I don't think Shamia had a problem with Kelly and Portia making up. I really don't feel that she did. But I felt that it was something that wasn't said. It's something that she didn't know about. And so I think at this point, Shamia maybe feels left out. Or maybe I could be reading her wrong. Maybe she was pissed about it. I don't know. Mrs. Best, I have to ask you, do you think Shamia was pissed about Kelly and Portia calling it a truce?
Of course. Shamia and Portia are one and the same. I keep saying it. That's why I'm surprised at the audience for looking so deeply into all of this. But I think that Shamia and Portia are what's causing a division. But I would put it more on Shamia. It seems like she has more to prove. And she don't have very many allies. Let's just call a spade a spade. Everybody she called best friends ends up her best enemy, except for Kelly thus far. So I do feel like she probably felt threatened and triggered by that. But who cares who Kelly is friends with? But maybe Shamia sees something in Kelly that I cannot see.
Yes, Portia gonna ride this until the wheels fall off. Y'all know she is. Y'all already know she is, and Shamia should know this too. I don't know why she's so surprised and hurt by this. It was so funny to see her slide. It was. When I tell you Kelly got dragged, that shit was so funny. I'm sorry. I did not mean to laugh as hard as I did, but I did. I chuckled. So Portia and Phaedra let the ladies know what the festivities will be with them, going forward and everything. So as the ladies are preparing to go out, we have a few things going on. We have a conversation between Pinky and K Michelle. So Pinky talks to K Michelle about, this thing with Shabia. Pinky feels like that they really didn't address it the way that they were want to because there's still tension between those two. And K Michelle said she was good with Shamia at dinner, but when it came time to them to come back to the house, Shamia said that I really ain't got nobody but Kelly. And K Michelle's like, I'm sitting right here and supporting you. So she said that she can't do that if ands or buts with Shamia about whether or not she's her friend. She feels like she's making it weird and strange, and she can't participate in that. Meanwhile, at the same time, Shamia's having a conversation with, her mom. She brings up the situation with Angela and how, Angela tried to accuse her of, sleeping with somebody's husband. Thank God she knew the wife so she could text to dispel that. She feels that the ladies are unnecessarily coming at her. Now, I can understand why she feels that way, but this once again, you cannot plant a seed, not water it, and then get mad when it rains. You cannot do that. I use that analogy all the time because that's what people like to do when they plant nuggets. There was a time where Shamia was being messy. And sometimes the things got back on her. Now, with the whole Angela thing aside, because I feel like Angela is on some bullshit with that. I do. I feel like we didn't get the full festivities. I can't wait to see at the reunion what that turns into. But I feel like Angela aside, with everybody else that she's into it with, she has put her own foot in her mouth. And I cannot sit back here and say that it's a dog pile on her. I think people are just responding to it now. That's how I feel going into it. And I think K Michelle is also seeing it too. Because Pinky says she's into it with everybody. Like she's getting into it with Drew, she's getting into it with Portia, she's getting into it with everybody. And they just don't understand. But once again, I feel like it's Shamia doing this. I do. I feel like that head on. I feel like she is just doing this to herself. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about K Michelle and Pinky's conversation in regards to, Shamia saying that she doesn't have any other friends except for Kelly?
I don't like when people move like that. I think Shamia does a lot of stuff that I would call nice, nasty, passive aggressive. If you feel a way, then state how you feel. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't do this BS of making it seem like you're so close with Kay and you care about Kay, but then when you're in front of Kay, you shade her and don't acknowledge the friend that she is. I don't like when people try to do that dry shade, and that's what it gave. But I was impressed to see that Kay, the way she discussed it and reacted to it, as well as Pinky, because they've both been kind of wishy-washy and up and down, was actually pretty fair. But I don't know. Shamia does stuff, and I feel like she kind of cries her way out of stuff or has to get back in order to look like she's within her right. But it was obviously dry shade. But then at the same time, like, Kay, you're just now coming around Shamia like that. So why get so upset at the statement, if that makes sense? But I don't know.
I
It's petty. Like all of this is petty and dumb. Like if Kay's just getting to know her and is new here and she don't refer to you as a friend, then like, oh well, Kay, you barely came around. Hell, you barely went fishing with Phaedra in the Kool-Aid. Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand
To me, I
why in
feel
the
like
world.
there's more to that conversation. And let me kind of expand on that because I see what you're saying.
I mean, you've been saying that, not to like to go on too long, but like there's obviously like you've been saying it for weeks. Like there's obviously something that was not filmed that happened off camera that is now presenting itself on camera, and it don't seem like nobody know how to handle it or is talking about handling it. And that's my problem with this cast, because everybody's arguing about stuff that either happened 20 years ago with their mamas, or arguing about stuff that happened 20 years ago with weddings, or they're arguing about stuff that happens off camera away from the show or is on social media, and then they bring it up low key, kind of, not really on the show. Like, don't talk about it if it wasn't on camera. I want production to do that with this crew because they get on my nerves.
Yeah, and I do. To me, it just seems like that whole, conversation of, well, my friends don't want me to be friends with you. I feel like we're picking back up with that. And I feel like there's no really big way to resolve that because the kind of the feeder in the sand with the popular girl clique out in Atlanta not messing with K Michelle, and Shamia is a part of that. I do think that Shamia is taking on the brunt of, well, she's on my show. What do I do with her? And they're like, well, that's up to you. And I think that she's choosing a side. I really do. I feel like Shamia is choosing a side where she doesn't want to be nasty or passive aggressive and say, well, I just can't be your friend, Kay. Sorry. But I think she's just kind of keeping her at arm's distance from her. Like she sees her, she acknowledges her, but I think she is keeping her at a distance. That's what I feel Shamia is doing. And I think that's the part that we're missing is because she's nicer in scene, she's nicer in filming, but the friend word is where it's questionable. That's where I think it's happening. I think it's the friend word. I think that she is right. Kelly technically is her only friend. She can't call K Michelle because it interrupts the girl clique she's a part of. I think that's what I'm seeing with this. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And I don't and I hope I am because that is kind of messed up that you letting grown ass women determine who you can and cannot be friends with. That is kind of childish and stupid. But that's how I feel. Unless somebody else has a different opinion that I would love to see, I don't see how it could be any different. So yeah. Let me get into the comments. Yeah, that Kelly and Portia things stings Shamia. It did, but I don't think it was them making up. I just think that okay, well, she could like it was what Shamia said. She could forgive Kelly and move forward. She could forgive Drew and move forward. But what about me? And I've been her friend the longest. I think that that's where she. I think that's what stings because she said it. So I think that that's what stings. But in that moment, I do think that that was kind of like a gut punch to her. I do. I do feel like that is a gut punch, but I don't know. These Shamia is kind of confusing at times. I too just walked in the room, must have missed the option for notification. Probably not. I did set this live up last minute, so probably not. I think that's my fault. Sorry, Kevin Reynolds, but thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Shamia is spiraling. Yeah, not in the way I would have thought she would have done it.
Whenever there's confusion, like, because you said Shamia is confusing and you are correct, but whenever there's confusion, remember back when Portia was new and we used to be like, this don't make no sense, we confused. Confusion means you a liar. You a liar and you deceitful. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Okay? I do believe Portia and Shamia both be lying, and that's why stuff is confusing. And I think they're both still kind of like lying while also trying to protect each other while also trying to tear each other down. And I think it's just gonna
Hmm.
make everything come across as confusing. And I feel like they work, I feel like they operate how they operate with each other in their friendship, with the messiness and the toxicity with everybody else. And that's probably why everything is just getting all confused and messy, but tired of them.
Yeah, Shamia was feeling something about Portia and Kelly getting along. Stop windmilling for Shamia and knock it off. Kevin Reynolds. Now, don't start this today. Now, I'm in a good mood. I'm having a great day. Why are you coming up here saying I'm windmilling for Shabia? I'm not windmilling for any of them because I don't really care for any of them right now. I'm just saying I'm trying to understand the process. Part of my job of standing up here and being on this is I'm trying to understand and be fair to everybody without completely writing them off. Which by the end of this recap, I'm going to contradict what I just said, but that's okay. I'm acknowledging it now. I'm not windmilling for Shamia. I'm not. These two are two sides of the same coin. They really are. And I think that that's what's so frustrating. But with Portia, I think it's a matter of Shamia got the better side of the coin than she did because Shamia is still with her African, Portia isn't. And I think that it was fine when Portia was with Simon and he had equal to less than money, but it was still, you know, image worthy for her to be in that same realm. But when the shit backfired and Shamia still had her man, there was you know what's funny? I was going back, there was a post that Simon had did like around Shamia's birthday, the first season Shamia was on the show, talking about the Rolls Royce. And he had said, "You gonna be the only housewife with the Rolls Royce." And Portia's comment was, "Yeah, but here's the thing: the difference between you and Gerald. Gerald has legitimate businesses. Gerald didn't come into this country illegally and all this." She was saying like, I'm paraphrasing, but she was saying things like that. When you start saying that and putting it into context, like that shouldn't even have came up. So that goes to show the jealousy there, right there. So it's interesting, but yeah, I do think that there is a bit of jealousy on Portia's end on Shamia, and that's why she keeps her at a distance as well. They both do the same thing. And what's interesting is Shamia's doing it to K Michelle. If y'all peep what it is, Shamia is doing the exact same thing to K Michelle as Portia's doing to her. And if y'all don't see it that way, I don't know what to tell you, but they're doing the exact same thing just to different people. Right. Nice Nancy does get passive aggressive on steroids. It does. Portia Williams did her job, paid Shamia dust. Pretty much. She knew what she was doing, but pretty much. So we gonna move on, y'all. We gonna move on to the next thing. So the next thing is we have Pinky. So Pinky, the whole trip has been getting notifications that she has to pay lawyers, pay vendors, do payroll for her businesses, and they're taking money out of her account because remember she is primary guarantor of her businesses, which I would never do. Like I would not know food chain restaurant that is not well known. Like it'd be different if that was McDonald's or something I know I'm getting profits of, but not like that. So Pinky is really frustrated. So she has a meeting with one of her assistants or managers, and K Michelle as she walks in, and she said, "I'm just tired of this. Like I'm tired of losing money." And in her confessional, Pinky said that she almost lost her marriage. She almost lost her businesses. She almost lost everything being in this situation. Now, this is where Pinky gets confusing because I thought in my mind and what I watched from the first few episodes of us being with Pinky that she had everything under control. Her marriage wasn't going to get affected by this. Nothing, she was going to do this all on her own. Now, which one is it, Pinky? I am confused because I thought that this was separate from your husband, that you still was going to show up. You were going to get through this regardless. I don't know. I don't know what to say about Pinky, but the ladies rally around her and support her, and they let her know, look, it was more so Angela that I was on the side of Pinky. It's just money at the money gonna come and go. You should know this by now. Money is going to come and go. Like you can always get out there and make more money, but sometimes you gotta take your losses. And who better to know than Angela? Because Angela has lost on this, and it has been public on the show. But Pinky is confusing to me. I just feel like she just did a very bad business deal and this is coming to get her. That's how I feel because it's so confusing. Mrs. Best, how'd you feel about Pinky?
You say your husband's a multimillionaire, but you're crying about your bills as you have refused to let your husband help you out with paying them when he's offered on TV. I don't care about Pinky's broke ass storyline no more. I just don't, because the reality of the situation is most people that file bankruptcy, you have to have something to lose, if that makes sense. So most of them do it for business reasons. Most of them do it to be okay. But it just seems like she's crying and huffing and puffing and giving energy over some shit that her husband offered to help her with that she doesn't have to be upset by. So it immediately makes it like less relatable. I'm not entertained by someone not being able to admit that their ego is in the way of them admitting that their business is not doing the best. And she continues on with the business, refuses help from people who are willing to help her. Like, I don't know what Pinky wants from us. Make another skit, Pinky. That's more entertaining than this. I'm tired of it.
I am too, because it's funny. Naya, I was surprised by this too because she was just talking about her rent was $9,000. She could wipe her ass with all that. Now it's all of a sudden, oh my god, this amount of money! I just lost $20,000 in one day, and it's like, but you just said when we first met you that you rich and that you got it, and now all of a sudden you crying over $20,000 when you just said 9,000 you can wipe your ass with. Like Pinky is confusing. Like I want to be because I do, y'all. I do actually like Pinky. I do, but the problem with Pinky is she's way too inconsistent for me. I feel like the stories is not consistent. They don't make sense. I feel like she has lied about a few things in pertaining to where she started and where she is currently in this season. I do because nothing makes sense. If I go back and watch a bit, I didn't know the bankruptcy was a personal bankruptcy. I thought it was a business bankruptcy. I felt like she told us that when we first met her. Now this is a personal bankruptcy. So what happened in the midst of that? Did you switch the chapter? What happened? So I get so confused by Pinky. I do, and I do like her. I do, but she got to come better than this. She do. I can't read her. Shamia, you put a newbie to a Real Housewives of Atlanta character. Moved into Shamia and her husband's townhouse. You cried not having friends on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Girl, we've been talking about this money this entire season. Isn't she making a TV show, movie thing? Girl, what is the issue? Thank you, Naya. Thank you, because we all are like this. I don't know where she's coming and going. It's so confusing. So confusing. Pinky Cole is not an actress. That's Drew Sidora. I mean, well, she was in production. Andre Shane, she was in production. She did Iyanla Van Fix My Life, and she did Jerry Springer, which was skittish. So she can,
That's why she's hiring other people to act in her film.
yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely not an actress. But Pinky needs to make smarter financial decisions because you guys brought up a lot of good points. You told us it was a business bankruptcy. Now you say it's a personal bankruptcy. You say all of these things that make no sense. You just was about to pay $40,000 for this film, but you're crying about money. You were crying over $20,000, but you're gonna put out 40,000 for your movie. If you don't cut that movie budget and take that 20K from that 40K budget and pay your people and keep your restaurant in order, I mean, I don't understand what Pinky is doing, and it's sad because she's likable. She is
Hmm.
likable and a very good addition. It's relatable to an extent, but I just want to see her make like better choices as it relates to her finances.
Yeah, because she came into the season saying one thing, and we in the middle of the season she talking about a whole nother. Now I know things can happen like that, but that's not how her confidence made it seem like she was going to get through this and make it. Like, and that's just what it was. So I don't know. Kerry Reynolds said, "Help me to understand why Pinky cries when she has to pay money. It talks about money, money, money. Hella annoying and aggy. So it really is absolutely actress. The budget is EBB and the flow is at this point. All right. Shamia has acting gigs. Drumline movie was 2002. Shamia was in Drumline.
She sure was. Shamia's done a whole bunch of acting gigs, actually. She's done a lot. That's why I don't understand why she acts like such a bird over Portia when she's actually more accomplished. You actually known for your talents and stuff versus who you sleep with. That should say something, but okay, Shamia.
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch Drumline to see if I can spot her. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and move on, y'all. So Phaedra is gonna take them around town because it is Phaedra's birthday. So they're going to learn some traditions about a kilt. You know, they're going to the kilt shop and have dinner, and then that's when the fiasco happens. So they go over to the kilt shop. We have education. We meet my man, the owner of the kilt shop, because y'all I'm moving to Scotland. No, I'm just playing. But we end up meeting. We actually learn about the patterns, about what it means, and we learned that the kilts are made by hand, sewn by hand, and it takes about 12 to 16 hours to make one kilt. And I'm just like, okay, um, I get. Listen, um, Mr. Sir, I get that, it's great not to take a tradition away from something, but we have advanced in timelines. The least you can do is get them a spinning jenny. I'm just saying. Just saying, because that looked like that would frustrate me. But anyways, y'all, they end up saying that one of the themes that they're having for Phaedra's birthday is a kind of like a gala dinner, and they want to represent Scotland by wearing a kilt. So they offered the ladies to have each one of them pay, and then Portia was going to actually pay for each one of them. So as they're all getting fitted and getting everything, Kelly is excited because Kelly got somebody paying for her shit. Because y'all know Kelly, you know yeah, it ain't looking too good for Kelly these days. So Kelly was like, Portia, like, wait, we got a budget. Don't be doing too much and everything. And I guess whatever portion, not Portia, Kelly Shamia picked out was over the budget that Kelly had or that Portia had set. So Shamia said, I'll cash app you. It's good. I'll make sure you get the remaining balance of that. No worries. And it was fun. It was actually a nice little thing and everything. I thought, way to bring in some culture. Business Best, how did you feel about learning about the histories of the kilts and the business and how they're made and everything?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a nerd. I love history. That part was a snooze fest, but you know, I enjoyed seeing them shopping. That's all I got.
I actually enjoy, all of learning the history. Like as I said, I knew about Scotland being, a country, but I really didn't have much insight on it. Like they have shown us, it's actually very beautiful there. It really is. So I cannot wait to go. Um, so after they get their kilts and everything, they then go to dinner, And but before they go to dinner, they're riding in the Sprinter van, and this is where Kelly mentions that she got a man. She got a man, and that Shamia introduced them and everything, and that he paid the 70,000 for her teeth. And Phaedra said what we was all saying when Kelly revealed that shit. Neither, and also we know in today's time that is allegedly some fuck shit and bullshit. But for the shits and giggles of the show, we're gonna say that he bought her those teeth, and Phaedra said, "Y'all need to get y'all priorities together." Phaedra said, "I would have told that man get me some crushed rice strips, and then I'll take the $69,972 to pay my bills. Like, why am I getting teeth when I'm paying bills and owing everybody? Literally, Kelly owing everybody. That 69,000 would have made a whole lot go away." So Phaedra is like us at this point. Phaedra, like, we don't understand this. Nobody understands this Phaedra, because there ain't no way in hell she owing everybody and she can take that money to make some of that shit go away. But as they get to the restaurant, doing their Kegels and everything, that's fine. They get to the restaurant, everyone sits down. The restaurant was very welcoming of them, and once they get there, everyone's having, conversations and all this. And it gets to Angela asking Drew about her music. And she said, "Oh, it's going good. I got a new single that's about to drop, and I'm about to go on tour." And when she says she's going on tour, she tells Portia, "Hey, I had a conversation with Dennis. And when I had the conversation with Dennis, he was talking about how much, he was missing you. He poured his heart out and everything. And he's upset about you dating again and everything." And she goes, "Is that really what's going on?" And she says, "No, he does have a problem with who I'm dating and everything. He had a problem with Mike, but, we dispelled that he really didn't have a problem with me seeing Sway." And I feel like he does have an issue with Portia's data, but he doesn't overstep the boundary. I think he does vocalize like he did in that scene with her. I think he does vocalize when she does move on, but he doesn't overstep the boundary once she's committed in the relationship. That's how I kind of see that going. Mrs. Best, how did you see that going? Like, do you think that Dennis really be having a problem, or do you think he's just chill and just lets Portia do whatever?
I could give a flying fuck and an asshole about Dennis and Portia. We have enough. I could go outside right now and just breathe air and see somebody in a toxic situation such as Portia and Dennis. Like, I'm tired of the, oh, that's who they want. That's who she really want to be with. If people really want to be together, they'll be together. They both just toxic in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So as Drew opened up the floodgates to talk about Dennis, Shamia pipes up and says, "Oh, well, Portia, speaking of Dennis, he called Gerald and told Gerald that you don't want Pilar at our house anymore when he brings her by to play with, our daughter. And I want to know, like, why would you, say that? Like, Pilar's not going to be in any harm." And she said, "Listen, Shamia, me and you ain't seeing it for each other right now. We are not in any good place. I don't want my child with somebody I'm into it with unless it's my sister. Like, that's different." So Shani's like, "Well, did you consider us sisters at one point? What would be different?" And I'm looking at Shamia like, "Okay, you already going down the wrong road. I get feeling away about her saying, 'I don't want my child at your house,' when there's never been a conflict, even when y'all were into it, when Dennis brought the baby over there. But Portia has a right to conduct and choose who her daughter is around at any given moment. I don't think that that's up to you to question that." I thought from this point, Shamia was definitely wrong for feeling any kind of way. That's her choice because that's her daughter. And Shamia even said, "Well, yeah, you're her mother, so that is right, but I would never do anything to your child." And it was like, oh God, here we go. Here we go. So they're going back and forth. And she goes, "Shamia, like, I don't want no problems with you. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't want no issue." And she goes, and they're going back and forth. And just like Shamia said, you brought up the mom thing first. Talk about how my mom did something shady by buying your mom's daycare and everything. And Portia said, "Well, she did buy the daycare. Everybody knows that." And she goes, "Yeah, my mom did buy the daycare, but you didn't say what your mom did. Like when you didn't say how when my mom brought the daycare, you didn't mention that your mom tried to sleep with my dad." And I said, "Oh, whoa." She said, "You didn't tell everyone that your mom tried to sleep with my dad." Everybody at the table said, "Ooh, Shabia, no." Like it was Kate Michelle's face for me. She said, "Ooh, Shabia, no, 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 no." I said, and y'all was stuck like this. I, I said, "What? Wait, y'all, I can't even wrap my mind around what Shabia just did." Like,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna call out some of the audience, James, and the chat. I love y'all, but let's call a spade a spade. Y'all acting so gagged over something that Portia brought up first. Portia brought the moms up first at the last reunion. Portia's the one who made us aware of what Shamia's mom did to her as it related to the daycare. So now that Shamia brought back something, everyone's, oh, I'm so gagged, I'm so gagged. If Shamia's mama still be having her titties up to her chin and be in the club, and Miss Diane think that she's a hot girl, and these two ladies were best friends, and then the friendship suddenly ended, I promise you it's not because of no raggedy daycare. It probably is because Miss Diane might have overstepped in some way. I do believe it. I absolutely do believe it. I do. Because why else with these ladies, you gonna tell me they beefing with each other for all these years over a daycare? When you got one person in a 50-year marriage?
yeah, I
And
don't
the
know what.
moms wouldn't have been brought up at all had Portia not mentioned them. Because one thing Portia does good at is she does good on camera of not talking about Shamia. She lets Shamia come to her because she knows how Shamia is and she knows she's going to crash out. But when they are not filming, Portia be talking all types of shit on the internet, throwing subs and digs. So I'm looking, everybody's gagged. I'm like, well, Portia been brought up the mama. Now, Shamia did empty the clip. Okay. But she came to fight. Portia had came with the gun last season. So that's why I look at them. I'm like, y'all are both the same. Y'all are both the same. And I'm not arguing with nobody over what they did. But what I will say is, Shamia, you're a weak ass bitch. If you stayed friends with this lady for all those years, knowing that her mother tried to come and do something with your daddy, that's not okay. I wouldn't have stayed friends with Portia.
I agree. And I think that's where my mind, that's why I'm so perplexed by this situation. Because Shamia, if her mom did that, and this was when they were, because Portia said that was even before us. So if this happened way before y'all, why would you even be friend? Like, I probably wouldn't even be allowed to be friends with you as a kid, let alone grown. Like, I wouldn't even be around you. So I'm perplexed, y'all. Because one, why would you want to be her friend, be all up in her face when she got at you the first time you were on Real Housewives of Atlanta and put you in a compromising position with Candy? Then why would you still want to be friends with her, even coming into this season? Why would you still want to be friends with Portia? Why did she have to push you over this ledge for you to expose this and still want to be friends? Talk about you still love her and all this. I'm so confused by Shamia, y'all. I'm so confused by Shamia because there's no way I could be friends with Portia if I knew in my mind that's what happened. There's no way I could be friends with Portia. So I agree with Mrs. Best wholeheartedly. I felt like to me that had she did speak to Portia or Miss Diane, that spoke to you because you were the one crying over this friendship. You were the one that wants to be in her good gracious, and you're the one who wants, this, like, is lusting for this friendship. And I just can't understand how you allowed yourself to be on this side of history. I'm sorry. I, I can't. I'm like Naya. I agree with you. I can't feel sorry for Shamia. As much as I want to, and as much as I love Shamia, I cannot feel sorry for her because as much as Portia is keeping you at arm's length, and this is Portia is playing the game. Let's keep it real, y'all. Portia is playing the game. Portia knows exactly what she's doing. She knows exactly, like Mrs. Best said, what's going to irritate Shamia, what's going to make her crumble. And she's sitting there, smile and poised, because she knows this shit is going to just blow up. So, and it did, because that was a big pill to swallow. I was like, oh, she went there with it. Like, damn. Like, would you say, everyone's? I mean, Angela called it last season. Shamia plays a long game, hence why she still dealt with Portia. But what was the long game, though?
I don't think Shamia plays the long game. I think she
I don't think so
tries
either.
to. I think people just assume that because of how long their friendship was. But if she played the long game, she wouldn't have done what she was doing.
Yeah, I agree.
I would have
I
kept
don't
that
see
in
it that way.
my back pocket the entire time until Portia really, really, really did something. But even before she brought up the stuff about the moms, like bringing up Pilar was weird.
Yes.
Portia's daughter, especially like I'm not a mom. And I wouldn't be surprised and get mad at anybody I don't deal with whose kids I can't be around. And I'm not a mom. So Shamia, as a mother, you should be able to understand it. And then everybody's not paying attention to how fucking messy Dennis is because I highly doubt Gerald mingles with people like Dennis unless he absolutely has to. And I just cannot see like Dennis, why are you telling Gerald, oh, Portia don't want the baby over here? Like, so Dennis, you started some shit, threw your baby mama under the bus because that really didn't need to be expressed to Gerald. Like, that's why I also look at Portia like I don't fully trust her in the situation. Everyone's like, "Ooh, Shamia, that's so messed up." And yes, Shamia's wrong. We know that. But I'm like, Portia, why is Dennis telling Gerald that Pilar can't come around? Like that's weird. So I don't know. I don't fully trust Portia and Dennis in that aspect. I also don't trust them because if somebody alleges some shit about my mama, such as her trying to sleep with her best friend's man that she's been married to for 50 years, I'm not gonna be as calm as Portia. So I do feel like Portia was looking for Shamia to react and she could predict her every fucking move, but they both just so messy and plastic.
Yeah, here's the thing, because Shamina has said this before that Dennis and Gerald had a relationship because he would bring the baby over since her and Portia were at odds. Now, to me, I felt like what Dennis does with his time up with the baby, as long as he's not putting the baby in danger, I feel like to me, Portia can voice that she don't want the baby to go over there, but I don't know if that's really what was going on. Maybe they met at the park. Maybe they went, and had dad time. Like, I don't think you should be able to predict, because if Shamia's not present and it's just Gerald with the babies, I don't think that that should stop. Like, me personally. Now, when it comes to them both being there, yes, I don't want him around Shamia. But if Dennis and Gerald are friends and have a friend group, I don't know. I just felt like I didn't understand that. But then at the same time, Portia is the mother and she has every right. So I kind of felt both ways about it. I'm like, well, if Dennis has his time with his daughter, you can't dictate who he brings around as long as he's not putting her in danger.
Shamia went from the daughter to the mama. I mean, went
Yeah.
straight to hell. Two things that you really should not bring up when you having a beef with other people. But again, Portia's the one who brought the moms into it originally, so I don't feel sorry for her or Miss Diane's hoe ass. If you didn't want your mama talked about, you shouldn't have brought up her mama.
I'm trying to catch my breath. Hold on. But so the conversation did get worse because then Portia brings up that Shamia's mom slept with one of her dad's brothers. And Shamia said that's not true. And she goes, well, as you said, my mom used to date your uncle, and he had told my mom that your mom tried to sleep with him. She goes, well, what's his name? I said, Shamia, you just dig holes for yourself that you can. What do you mean, what is his name? It's not true. Like Phaedra said, it's not true. If it's not true, why are you asking what his name is and everything like that? Is it true? And that's why I'm saying Shamia puts her foot in her mouth. She's
They
not
both,
thinking.
I think both of what they are saying about each other is true. You could just tell in how they responded. They both know so much about each other. And that's
Hmm.
the thing. I think Portia's accustomed to dealing with high stress situations in battle. because she's been on RHOA for years. I don't think Shamia's as accustomed to it because she just seems to melt. She seems to
Yes.
melt and get frazzled and shut down because even if you did say the name, how are we supposed to know that's really the name and that this is the person? Like, it's all very, very strange. There's some
Yeah.
truth to all of it. The way that girl was crying in that car
Right.
with Kelly,
Absolutely.
there's some truth to all of it. And Portia looked pissed and like she was just trying to keep herself together.
She
But she
did.
did look pissed off.
She
So I'm
was,
like,
yeah, she was agitated. I will definitely agree with you there. So like Mrs. Best said, Shamia excuses herself from the table and she goes off with Kelly. She is highly upset, highly sad about the situation that they even have to go there. And she's in the car, like, you know, this is her real life. You know, she loves Portia. She hates that this is what happened and that, but she couldn't hold on to this anymore. And I'm kind of like, Shamia, there was a way you could have handled this. It did not have to happen here. But once again, they're on a show and it has to happen this way. Meanwhile, Portia, it was like, I has not been doing anything. I have not been saying anything to her, y'all. I did not want this. She's sitting up there. This is her energy. This is all her. She goes, I lost a best friend and my husband at the same time. The same evilness I saw in him, I'm seeing in her right now. I'm done. I ain't got nothing for her. That's it. And I said, ooh, wee. I said,
don't
ooh,
nobody
wee.
care about you losing a husband that didn't belong to you in the first place, Portia. Leave that out of there. Leave that out.
Because when she said that, I said, "Now, Portia, you know damn well you didn't want that man. Stop all that. Stop all that. Girl, Portia get on my nerves sometimes because she's like, girl, you be saying shit just to be saying shit. But ooh, this was a lot, y'all. That we in the episode, as I say, it's so unfortunate, but there's so much damage. I don't think these two. So when I asked the question of what happens now, I cannot see these two ever coming back from this. Like, I have to ask y'all, what happens now? Do we see these two ever coming back from this?
And this is exactly why I didn't want Portia and Shamia to both have peaches at the same time. Because they sat there and argued about they old ass hoe ass mamas while everybody else just kind of sat by and was gagged by the whole thing. When there's stuff they could have been sharing. Like Pinky Cole, make this make sense. People could have been asking her questions and digging in. That could have been entertaining at the table. Like, I don't understand how much longer we're supposed to discuss Portia and Shamia. But what I will say, to stay friends with anybody related to someone that tried to destroy the union of your parents and your family, I question Shamia more than Portia. Because before we knew any of this, Shamia, you've been known this. And you still chose to be a friend and do all that extra stuff. Now, I can understand being cordial and acquainted because you're in the same circle and Atlanta's not that damn big. However, the fact that you would want a friendship with Portia and care about her when her mama did this to the family and then she had Pilar coming over to see you and then suddenly changed her mind about that. Like, why you want to be friends with somebody like that? They play with your family and they move weird.
It doesn't make sense,
What
y'all.
Portia got over Shamia? Do you owe her some money? Like, what is it?
I don't know. I really want to know because it not only was she doing that, but there was a moment she was at Miss Diane's house. There was a point, like if you go back and watch the seasons, she was at Miss Diane's house. She always had Portia's events, everything. Lauren's around her too. It's like, okay, I, I can't fully grasp how you would stay friends with somebody if you know that this has happened. Like my mama would look at me all kind of sideways. Like, why are you still friends with this person? That was a reach. Portia can do what she wants with a child. I agree, Naya. Hey, Tamika. Thank you for being here. You guys, please subscribe to Tamika's Den. She is a great content creator here. She does a lot of great shows. I love her. We just actually did a live with her on Mrs. Best channel. We love Tamika over here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, my love. Um, I agree, Pinky Co trying too hard. Yeah, everybody. When I tell you there are so many snippets of this and so many memes going around. The best one is with Miss Diane eating that food. They said after she left should be a daddy house, she was eating that food. I was hollering, y'all are too much. Y'all are too much. Yeah, she knows what she's doing. She knows what, like I said, Portia ain't a slick. She can act out. Okay, here's the thing. Portia set this shit up from the beginning. I think Shamia is one of those Tauruses because this is in the Taurus family. Tauruses don't like to be ignored. They don't. They don't like to be ignored at all, especially by somebody that they love. It eats at them. And I think that Portia knows that that's one of Shamia's traits. So she set it up from the beginning. She passively invited her to her home, acknowledged her, but really wasn't associating with her. And Shamia caught on to that. And it just kept happening. And it was festering because you could tell Shamia is foaming at the mouth, wanting to be this girlfriend, but Portia's not giving. She's giving her arm's length. That's all she's doing. So yeah, I think that that's exactly what Portia did. Portia, you good, but Shamia processes like me and Mrs. Best had a conversation earlier. Shamia processes and tries to get her get back too late. That's what Mrs. Best told me, and I 100% agree with that. Now I couldn't agree with her more because that's exactly what's going on. She waited too late to get her get back, and that's why nobody is seeing it on Shamia's side. I ain't on either side. If I'm being honest with y'all, where I stand in this, I'm not on either one of their sides because they're both are being childish and ridiculous and need to leave each other alone. You cannot salvage this 30-year friendship. It is done. There's nothing we can do for it now. So yeah. Um Looking at Portia moves, we knew Mama Diane. Oh, y'all just talk about this lady. I don't listen,
Hey,
I don't
bro, Mama Diane could never keep a husband or a man and was allegedly around the way girl and a groupie from back in the day. From back in the day. And what does Portia do? Like, we are more like our parents than we realize. Portia can't keep a man to save her life. Maybe that's why she's trying women.
I
It
mean,
don't got
hey,
nothing to do with Simon's scam or him being Nigerian. It don't. She couldn't keep Cordell. She couldn't keep Simon. She couldn't keep Dennis. The old boy that she was trying to get pregnant by before Dennis when she first bought that house seasons ago on RHOA.
I forgot about him.
She couldn't keep him, ran him right off. So I'm just saying, she is her mama.
Yeah, Portia did bring up the moms first on social media. She sure did. Um, Portia was holding court after Shamia left. Yeah, she started preaching. Hey, bro, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. In my opinion, Shamia did too much, but they're both being weird. I agree.
They are. Because how are you a mom questioning another fucking mom about who she has her kids around? Nobody has come out of my coochie. And I would never question anybody, even my worst enemy. If you don't want your kid around me, that's fine. So Shamia, they both, that's what I mean. They do the same shit to each other. Birds of a feather flock together. They do the same shit to each other because the same way James think Portia set all this up, and he's probably correct, it's the same way Shamia tried to set the situation up by bringing up the daughter, knowing that would irritate Portia. And when that
Yep.
didn't work, then she took it to hell and brought up Miss Diane. Like, we're not supposed to talk about moms and kids, and I just feel like people keep doing that on reality TV. Like, fight about something else. What happened to like breaking glasses and arguing over like an interior designer? Like, please fix it.
Yeah, because we going too far. We're bringing mamas into it and alleged affairs and shit. Now, here's the thing, bro. Allegedly, I have to say allegedly on my channel, but allegedly, this is what was going around about Mr. Cordell.
I believe it because I also allegedly heard he was a little violent too. Them be the ones
They be
hiding
the
in that
ones,
closet,
yeah.
shackled to the closet. My God.
Absolutely. They angry because they can't be who they are. Women, if you would have been he aggressive like this, you might want to question the sexuality firsthand. That's usually the first thing I question when I hear the ones being, a little violent towards the women. I always be like,
Hmm.
there's a reason. It's one or two things, or maybe even three. He angry at his mama. You remind him of his mama, or he gay. It's one of them. I'm telling you, I'm serious. He either angry at his mama, you remind him of his mama, or he gay. But yeah, that's what allegedly. I have to allegedly say that because we don't know what that man be doing in the comfort of his home and behind closed doors. But allegedly, um, Todd was the man's name that Portia used to be with that season. Shamia was at her mama house that season. She sure was. She was up in her mama bed when Portia was
Mm.
in the bed because she was sick. Shamia was right there because she was on the phone with Phaedra. See, that's what I'm saying. How you in the bed? How you in that lady house? And this, I can't with y'all. Yeah, I can't. Um, hey
Hi,
JB, thank you
JB.
for being here. I'm sorry, I was laughing at myself. Shout out to JB. Says what? Y'all subscribe to his channel. He does great content as well. We love JB over here as well. Yes. Them be the ones. I know that's right. I know that's right, bro. Absolutely. Um. Ooh, they are. That be the, like I'm telling you, them be the ones that you have to be careful with, especially when you're like dating sites. They always be up on there, and then when you say the wrong shit, they be trying to swing on you when you meet them. It's like crazy. I'm serious. Like you laughing, like that's happened to so many of my friends. Like they would meet a guy, he'd be like DL, but they would meet like in like a somewhere where it's dark, like a movies or something. They say the wrong shit, that man ready to swing, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, damn.
'Cause they hiding. They're in hiding.
But you ain't got to swing on me. Shit, listen, I ain't do nothing.
That's fight or flight. I remember learning about that in school.
Hmm.
I'm a psych major for those who don't know. I'll have my graduate degree in a few months, but there actually is something that aligns with people sometimes expressing violence when they're hiding sexuality. I was
Yeah,
said, what? Lord, so watch your back. Check the maps.
you're right. Make sure you know your exits. Make sure your car is close. Yeah,
Gotta
make sure
make
your
sure your
car.
car is
Make sure your
close.
car. No, I'm being serious. Y'all laughing. Y'all go to the movies. Make sure you sit by somebody where you can grab their hand real quick and scream. Like make sure. Like I'm saying, like ladies, I'm being for real. And men too, young men out there who are in that dating realm, and y'all think it's cute to be with a DL man because he usually like some trade. Y'all better know where the emergency exit is. You better learn how to scream. Hell, you know what? I got even better buy you a whistle. Buy buy.
I thought I was muted. My bad. This Negro said buy a whistle. I
I'm serious.
cannot. That's a
Buy
problem
you.
here in the Bay Area. I've actually
Oh
been
yeah.
this is why I don't go to the club in Oakland or San Francisco no more, especially near the Castro, because we always see some sort of a fight or altercation, and it's usually because someone was caught with
Mm-hmm.
someone's husband who has a wife. And so
Yep.
I said, I'm not going outside in the Bay Area no more. Y'all can't do this to me.
I'm trying to tell y'all, y'all better. I mean, y'all men, because men like that. Like I'm learning that about gay men. Gay men love finding them a DL or a trade. That's what they call them, the trade, and
Why?
they love that shit. And I'm like, that is the most dangerous shit you could put yourself in. Like I don't understand that. I never understood that. Like, no, I need to know who knows. As soon as you tell me your parents don't know, nobody, your kids don't know, your sister, brothers don't know. I don't fool with you.
Wait a
I
minute.
just, I do.
Why we got kids if we like oh Lord. I just the
I,
stress.
you know what, Kevin? I need you to DM Mrs. Best, and I need you to tell her and explain to her because she don't listen to me. She don't listen to me. I keep trying to tell her it's not what you think. I'm telling you, I know plenty of them that got kids.
Mm.
Plenty of them that got kids. A lot of them have kids. They do. It's just some men find out later in life than when they would live another life. I don't know, but yeah, better keep that mace. I'm trying. Yeah, some mace. Yeah, y'all get some mace because sometimes you can't swing grab, but you get that mace, burn them. That's your quick getaway. Buy you a whistle and get you some mace. All of that is under $10. Get you some. They got it at Target right now. You can go get go somewhere. But yeah, y'all stop if y'all gonna do this, protect yourselves. But anyways, that's a whole different conversation and a whole nother life for a whole nother day. But that was pretty much Real Housewives of Atlanta with a little sidebar commentary. Y'all know how we do on my channel. But that was it. I can't wait to see. I want to see this reunion already. I don't care about these next 3 episodes.
Yeah, because I want to know why Andy was talking about Portia and me just giggled. If a bitch talked about my mama, I'm pulling up to the reunion with my hair tied back, Vaseline on my face, and my best pair of old sneakers. There's no way that she should have been giggling at the reunion.
I don't know what she has to giggle about, but I can't wait to see this reunion. I don't care about these next episodes. The reunion. I'm gonna
The
come here
reunion.
for y'all because I love everybody here, but I want to get to this reunion and get done with this show because I may not be coming back next season, depending who returns. So
No, don't say that. You
yeah, I
have to
may.
cover it. Cause please keep covering it.
Now you'll be giving Shamia way too much credit. I don't think she was cussing out anybody. I think she was crying and defending herself. I do. But we'll see what happens when that day comes. But yes, make sure you guys like the video, give me a comment. Shout out to everybody who made the live. I appreciate you so, so much. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to my replay gang. Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? Thank you for being here as well. We will be back on my channel later this week to cover Next Gen NYC. I can't wait to see you guys there. Hopefully, that episode is something too. But thank you guys once again. Glad we were able to break this down. And I will see you guys on my next live. Have a good one, y'all. Bye bye.